Hello, I'm Lisa and welcome to another week of Start Me Up Business Walkthrough, where I walk you through my journey of starting a business. That business, of course, being a web development business. And this week is step number 5. And you'll recall last week and the last few weeks I spoke about getting my budget ready and my cash flow, getting some sort of cash flow system in place. And we looked at the net worth position cash flow forecast because I want to, practice that skill and so I can use that in my business later on. Now, this week it seemed logical to really get the rest of my other parts of my life in order. And then I came across this idea of minimalism. Now, what it means essentially, in brief, is basically getting rid of the clutter out of your life. And what's great about it is that once you do that, you don't ever have to revisit it again. So it's a little bit different than organising. Whereas if you organise your stuff, basically you have to come back and organise it again later. But the idea of being a minimalist is that you just do the process once and then you don't have to do it again. You just have to keep tidy what you've got. And I really love that idea because it requires a certain amount of planning and processing and being organised and thinking with the front part of your brain rather than just reacting to the mess around you. And that's a great skill to have because in business I need to be focused and I need to have processes and systems, and what a good way to practice doing that. And the thing that I loved about the minimalist concept, not only is it you only have to do it once, that it's permanent, that you can use 3 categories to decide on where your stuff, if you're going to keep it or not. Those 3 categories being, have you got a reason? Is there a reason, or is it fulfilling some purpose or goal that you need to keep something? Or do you need it for a season, like your winter clothing, for example? Or do you need it for a lifetime? So you kind of put those things into categories and as a way to get started. And I threw out a whole bunch of stuff and thought more carefully about, what am I doing with this piece of equipment? My tools, for example, picked those up and held them in my hand and said, well, do I need this? Is there a reason that I need it? And if not, well then I throw it out or put it into storage. I do have off-site storage, which I quite like, although yes, you do have to pay for it and it's not cheap, but it's a good way if you do want to start clearing out your clutter and you've got somewhere to put that before you decide to make that final leap of faith and throw away something you might want later. I literally put it into storage, at least it's out of sight, and it will be easier for me to let go later on. So that was a concept around being a minimalist, and it's good. You can do the same thing. I do the same thing on my computer, organise my documents into folders and just get more organised, trash out the documents or put them onto a backup storage utility or whatever, something that I don't need, and getting organised around that as well. It's amazing how much stuff on the computer you can accumulate over years. So that's working really well. And so then now I've got a clear space, clear office space that I can fill that up with my new venture. And so that's it, being minimalist. Working for me so far, and if it works for you, well, that's great. Share your comments if you want to. That's it for this week, just a short one. Next week I'm going to be speaking about getting into the business aspect a little bit more and talking about getting a niche market. So I've already decided that I'm doing the web development, but it's getting a niche, what customers, what type of customers do I want to work with, or what do I want to specialise in? It's probably the right way to say that. What area of the market do I want to sell my products and services to? So that's it for this week. And next week, step in again, please, and we'll talk about the niche markets and how I'm going to develop that and work on that. So any questions, please send me an email or leave some comments, and have a great week. And I hope you guys are getting into your business ideas and try out the minimalism and see if it works for you. And that's it. Bye for now.